These are my two grandparents, Joe Lorenzo and Margaret Lorenzo. They are my mother's parents. My grandfather is 80 years old. My grandmother is 75. They have lived in Franklin Square for 53 years. How long have you guys been married?
56 years.
What was your anniversary?
Our anniversary was September 23rd. September 23rd,
Right.
whatever year. Yeah.
Okay.
1956.
That's when we got married. Yeah,
Oh,
our
yeah,
anniversary was September 23rd.
Right. So, how old were you guys when you met each other?
I was 17.
And I was 21.
You were 21. Okay, so describe your courtship when you guys dated.
We had a very nice courtship. We were constantly out enjoying each other's company and with our friends. And we would go, like in the spring and in the summer, we'd go out to Rockaway, Coney Island.
All right.
We had a very nice relationship.
So, how long did you guys date for before you
How long
proposed?
did we date for? Is that what
Right.
you said?
Before you
year.
proposed.
Or more?
1 year, and then we got engaged.
Right.
And a year later, we got married.
Okay. So, why did you decide to get married?
Of course, we loved each other very much, and we wanted to be with each other
Right. Okay.
and have a family.
Right. And we wanted to be together. That's the most important thing.
Right. Okay. So now, describe your engagement.
Describe our engagement.
Right. Like leading up to the wedding. Like, how was the planning process?
Well, we planned to get engaged, and we said a year later we would get married, and hopefully in a couple of years after we were married, we would have children.
Start a family.
But
right.
How was planning the wedding?
It was great. We had wonderful time planning it. We both agreed on everything that we wanted. There was never a disagreement, and we just loved each other from the first day.
We picked out the hall. We picked out the band. We had Uncle Dodo and his band, which is right now is very funny but at the time he was a family member and he was good. But like right now, it would be a joke.
Okay.
But that's the way it was years ago when we had him, and we enjoyed it.
Where did you guys get married? What hall?
It was Grand Paradise Ballroom in Brooklyn.
And what church did you guys get married at?
Holy Trinity in Brooklyn.
In Brooklyn. Okay. And how old were you guys when you did get married?
I was 19,
Not quite 19.
and
I was 23.
Okay. Now, Pop, what were you looking for in a spouse?
What was I looking for in a spouse?
Right.
I was looking for somebody that I loved and somebody that was going to be with me for the rest of my life, and someone who was going to be good to me and my family, and we were going to have children, and we were going to start raising our kids the way we thought the best we could, and we tried as best we could to raise them properly and teach them good manners, good religion, good social standings, and we just enjoyed each other. What could I say? It was a lot of love in our
Right.
life.
and then we were so happy to have 11 grandchildren.
So lucky to have them.
Yes, and thank God for them because they're all healthy, and we love them all very much.
Love you too. How does the reality of marriage compare to the expectations of what marriage would be? Did you guys think was everything you thought it would be?
Yes,
Yes, don't forget, we grew up in a time when marriage was a very sacred thing. And when people got married, they stayed married. There was a love before marriage, and there was a love after marriage, and there was a love during the marriage. So we grew up with that mindset that, we knew exactly what to expect exactly what we wanted, and we just hoped that it all worked out.
and the
And
ups
it
and
did.
downs that you have in your life, you deal with it, and you just do what you have to do to keep peace and love and happiness in our family.
How do children affect being married?
It's a wonderful thing to have children. They bring a lot of love, a lot of happiness, and like I said before, very thankful that they're all healthy and we're all happy and we have a great family now and we enjoy our life with our children and our grandchildren.
Did marriage become stressful after you did have your kids?
Pardon me?
Did your marriage become a little stressful after you had your first kid?
Well, in a sense, it did because we were not living in our own home. We were living in my parents' home, and with the baby and my parents, it was a little stressful. When we finally did go out on our own and we got our own home, it was just beautiful after that.
Right, you guys raised Uncle Jimmy in Brooklyn for,
Well, in Queens,
Queens.
Yeah.
For 2 years.
and then you moved to this house?
Right.
And we moved to Franklin Square and we've been here for 53
Actually, it's,
53 years.
how old is Kathy now? 53.
54 years.
54 years. September was 54.
No.
53 or 54.
Right, okay. How important is money in a marriage? Like finances?
Well, it's important to the sense that you want to have the things in life that you want and the things that you expect and the things that you need. You need money to to live comfortably, but it's not the most important thing in your life.
Okay. How important is religion in a marriage? Having the same
Very
religion.
important, very important. You have to have. If you don't have religion, you're missing out on a lot.
You two have the same religion, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
We're
Which is Roman
we're both
Catholic.
We're both
Catholics.
Catholic and we're very happy that we are Catholic because we have a lot of faith and that's what gets us through the hard times and the good times. Without faith you have nothing and you have no love either.
Right, you guys go to church every Sunday, right?
Yes, we do.
Okay. How important is sharing a cultural background in a marriage?
How important is it to share a cultural background? It's very important because we all have the same. We have the same background as far as Italians are concerned. We cook. We like the way we cook. We like the way we eat. We like the parties that we have. We like the company, and and it's just, that's what we live on, our culture.
Our Sunday dinners with our family and
Right, the traditions that you share.
That's
Right,
a
the
tradition.
traditions, exactly.
exactly what we
Beautiful word.
word.
Thank you. Okay. And so the age difference between you two, did that affect your marriage in any way? Or no?
No.
No, you guys are 5 or 4 years apart?
4.5 years apart,
4.5
and
years
it
apart.
never affected anything.
No.
No.
Okay. What advice would you give teenagers who are dating and thinking about getting married?
Make sure that you love each other, number one, most importantly. And number two, make sure that this is the person that you want to spend the rest of your life with. Don't just have a fling and and expect that if things don't work out, you'll just start all over again, because that's not the way to think. You have to think, this is permanent. This is it. Once I take this step, I'm in it for the long haul. And this is the way it is.
Okay, so what advice would you give to a young married couple that is experiencing marital difficulties and thinking about divorce?
I would try to discourage them as much as possible, because it's not a good idea to get a divorce, because number one, it shows that they didn't plan too well before they got married, and number two, it's just not the way to go. You can usually work out all your problems. We've had many problems, but we've always worked them out. We talked them out. We hugged each other, and we kissed, and we made up, and we changed each other's personality and mind to the point where it was not the big deal that we thought it was. You know what I mean?
And if you felt you did, wasn't working out, you go for counseling or you speak to a priest and someone will help you along the way to get through your ups and downs and before you decide to get a divorce.
So
That's
being
what you should do.
right, so being Roman Catholic, you guys don't agree with divorce, right?
No.
No.
Okay. Now, looking back, what would you guys do differently if you could?
Nothing. Everything that we've done, we were always happy doing it.
See, we have like a rule in our lives. We never go to bed mad.
Right.
If we have a big fight during the day, when we go to bed at night, we kiss and say goodnight to each other.
Right.
The next morning is another day. We start all over again. Forget about yesterday. Today's a new day. That's the way we've done it through the years.
You've always said never to leave the house mad or...
No,
Right.
no.
Okay. What would you say is the key to a happy marriage?
Love.
Love, religion, health, and happiness.
Right. You think everyone should talk their problems out first, right?
Right. Should be always talk to each other, communicate with each other, don't hold nothing back. Something's bothering you, sit down and say, we have to get this all done, and talk to each other about it and get this straightened out. You don't let it go on and on and on until it's too late.
Don't let it fester. Yeah, right.
Right.
Right. And do you think a couple should live together before deciding to get married?
No, I don't.
You don't. Why not?
Because I feel that you should be boyfriend and girlfriend until the day comes that you're ready to get married. Then you move in together. You should know each other before you get married. Like people say, they have to live with each other first. No. You should know all the things about him, and he should know all your things about yourself. And it just, to me, is not the right thing to do.
Pop, what about you?
But I don't believe in it either because, number one, the religion teaches us that, we're not supposed to be, committed, we're not supposed to do those things. If you're living together, you're going to have sex.
Temptation.
The temptation's going to be there to have sex. And you should have that before you get married. That should be sacred, and it should be only done once you're married, when you're planning for family and planning for children. It shouldn't be just
A fling.
a thing that in the heat of the moment, you just have sex. It's not right.
I gotcha.
Without love.
All right. Well, thank you guys very much. And, okay.